Hi, it's Rob here from Progressive Property, and I'm with Mr. Paul Towlson. Paul, this is everyone.
Hi, everybody.
And everyone, this is Paul. Now, I'm really excited. I haven't sat on the couch for a little while. And Paul's got a great story, and he's just going to share it with you slightly with a little bit of help from me. So, Paul, can you tell everyone how long you've been in the Progressive community?
I think the first event that I came on, which was Progressive, was the Super Conference in 2012.
Okay.
And
so now we're, what, 18 months
yeah,
on?
18 months in. Yeah, I had been to one of the days that you did down at Heathrow.
Sure.
I think Johnny was mostly on that.
Yeah.
But I joined 18 months ago.
Okay. And just give us the top line of all the things you've done in those 18 months with us.
I think the biggest thing for me has been getting me basically unstuck. Because when I joined Progressive, or when I came to that Super Conference previous year, I was actually thinking about giving up on property because I'd done well before the credit crunch.
Sure.
Got stuck. The strategy I was using didn't work anymore. My head was in the wrong place. Couldn't see how to move forward. Then I heard about these guys who are doing really well. Thought, well, if they can do it.
Yeah, if we can do it, anyone can do it. Thanks for that, Paul. Cheers.
So I was actually sitting at the back of the Super Conference thinking, well, am I in the right business? Should I do something different?
Yeah.
And what I realised, it was the wrong question to ask. And the question that you helped me to start asking myself was, am I right in the business?
Sure.
And so, leaving aside all the property strategies and all of the education and so on and so forth, the biggest thing for me has been getting me in a different mode, different way of thinking, different way of behaving. And so for me, that's the massive shift.
Sure. So tell us in those 18 months then after that shift, what you've achieved, because you've achieved some really great things. So just list all the things you've done.
I think the biggest thing for me has been speaking at the Super Conference in 2013. And for me, that was really exciting. 1,000 people. And it was on something that was quite close to my heart, because in the past I used to be involved in education. I've got a passion for helping other people to learn more, to be inspired, to get a handle on their own lives. And speaking about education, decision, action was really quite congruent with what I want to be talking about myself.
Great.
And that's of course given me a great boost to move forward in terms of my own speaking business, which is something I'm in the process of setting up.
Okay, so you spoke at the biggest property event of the year, which is pretty cool, and that shouldn't be underestimated. I know you've raised quite a lot of JV finance. You want to talk about that?
Yeah. I'm in the middle of a refurbishment project together with a business partner at the moment, and it's part commercial, part residential, and we've raised about to date about 700,000 on that project. Some from family and friends, and it's basically unsecured. Some of it has been through pensions, and
so you raised £750,000.
Yeah. And it's been very exciting to be able to do that and realise that we don't actually have to go to the banks.
And the size of that property project you're doing, what's the kind of value and what you're doing?
The end value is going to be about 900, thereabouts.
So you're doing quite big stuff?
Yes.
And would you say your sort of mindset's expanded to do bigger stuff in your journey?
Definitely. And what I want to be moving on to doing is more commercial stuff. Possibly looking at commercial to residential conversions. And because I'm networking more widely now, I'm coming into contact with other people with whom I might be able to do some really interesting things.
Okay, so that's £1 million deals, £750,000 finance, speaking at the biggest property event, from being a kind of delegate to being the speaker. I know you've got other things, like you now host your own event. So do you want to talk about the other stuff you're doing as well?
What the networking event? Well, the opportunity, of course, that came up at the Super Conference this year. I attended Jamie's talk about setting up your own network. Thought, well, actually, this sounds like a really good platform, or a stepping stone onto my own speaking business, and it also enables me to give back. So having well, I think we had about 55 people came along to the first event, which was about 3 weeks ago.
So you had 55 people at your first event?
Yes.
Which is really good.
Very good, yeah.
Really good.
I mean, some of those were people who were there to help me out and so on.
What, not 54 of them, though? They weren't all your family.
No.
When we did our first event, it was a lot less than that.
Well, we had a significant number of paying guests, which was great, really encouraging. And we had some sales from some of the courses.
Yeah.
And of course, I got 50-odd business cards.
And now you're the main guy in one of the London areas.
Well,
so.
When I go along to a networking event for somebody else's, I get 4 or 5 business cards.
Yeah, sure.
So for me, it's multiplied my ability to network, but I can also help other people.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I'm trying to help others with is linking them up with the right people.
Sure.
What are their skills? What are their needs?
And that is that kind of thing. Sorry to interrupt you there, Paul, but I'm just thinking, you're talking about that a lot. So is that a real passion and a benefit to you of being in this business, would you say?
Yes, and it's part of me being right in the business. And when I was at that stage before of being stuck, I couldn't see how I could be doing the kind of things that I'm good at and have a passion for in this business. But actually, when I started thinking about all of the possibilities within the property world, there's so many different things that you can do.
Totally.
And when I see the number of different strategies and the number of different personalities that fit with each of those, the world's your oyster. So you can have any passion, any motivation, any attitude to life, and you'll find your niche in the property world. And to help other people find the right niche for themselves is something that matters to me.
Sure. Okay, great. So portfolio, what's the total value of your portfolio, the total income from your portfolio now?
My personal portfolio stands at about 2 million now. That's excluding the development project.
Sure.
And the passive income that I have from that is about 5,000 a month. There's probably another 1,000 of repayment mortgage on top of that, but that doesn't count as my income.
Okay. And are you in property full time now?
Yes.
Obviously the networking and speaking and everything else.
Managing my portfolio takes maybe 1 or 2 hours a week. Interfacing with
so
somebody who manages that for me. PPN, running the networking, there's a lot of marketing to be done with that, so that takes some time. Trying to grab some time to develop content and build up my repertoire of speaking stuff, speaking material, and of course the development opportunities. So it's split between all of those.
Great.
And if I think back to a year and a half ago, I would have thought, my God, I will have no time at all. I'll be overwhelmed.
Sure.
But I think it's the old adage, if you want something done, give it to a busy person. And I feel like I've become far more effective over the last, especially 12 months.
Great. So you've been with us 18 months. Sounds like you're doing really well. What key things would you say you've got from Progressive and the community that have really sort of speeded you forward, if you like?
Challenging me to think about property as a business and the distinction between being self-employed and owning a business. And I think I was in self-employed mentality. I've got to do this, I've got to do that, I've got to keep the paperwork going, the admin, the maintenance, dealing with tenants and all, and I hated it. It wasn't what I wanted to do. And seeing the way, well, your adage, leverage first, manage second, do last. That's been very helpful. So that's a distinction that I think has been very powerful. The network has been very, very helpful. And what I like about the Progressive community is that it's very broad church. You've got newbies with no money, no experience, and they're learning. They need something different. You've got people who've got substantial amounts of money to invest, different needs there. You've got people who've been investing for many years. So there's a very wide range of people within the community, which from my own point of view means there are more potential joint ventures there because there are people that I can complement and they can complement me.
Great. Okay, so you had a big decision to make 18 months ago because you were already doing it, but you were losing the passion and you weren't sure if it was right for you and you were stuck. There must be many other people who are in a similar situation, or people just starting out, or people looking to go to the next level. What would your suggestions be to those people?
I think the first thing is to get as much knowledge, as much education as you can. And you can get that through networking, through talking to people who are doing different things. You can get it by coming on courses, especially Progressive, obviously, but there are others. We know about the competition.
Sorry, there was microphone interference there.
But I think to get knowledge from as widely as possible is really important.
For sure.
And my mistake before was I stopped learning, I stopped networking, and I stayed still.
Right.
And the business is changing so rapidly, you need education. But it's not just about the strategies, it's also about the business skills, about the mindset, about who you are. So I think that's the starting point. And then, of course, it's back to the education decision, and then you take action.
Sure,
Get moving, do something. Get out there, try some things.
Great. Paul, thank you very much.
Thank you, Rob.
Inspired. I'm totally inspired now by that, and I'm sure everyone else is watching, so thank you.
Thank you.